Hey, we're Culture Wars, and you're listening to Jam88.3. We rock radio.
All right, thanks guys. So once again, my name is Roanna, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you today. I know that you just arrived in the country, so we really appreciate it that you guys headed right here instead of your hotel. So I know how those flights are, and it can be very, very draining.
Yeah.
But it's okay, you got a great evening for tomorrow. Are you excited?
Oh yeah, very, very, very excited. We've been waiting for a very long. We've been touring since like August, and this has been the one show we've been like waiting for. So it's a lot of build up.
So aside from the fact that you've heard from Lany that the audience in the Philippines are very, very ecstatic and very
the phrase
energetic.
Was 10 times crazier than
Really?
anything else, and I was like, okay.
Is there anything else that you heard about the Philippines?
No. I mean, I came for the C-Sig and
Really?
and for a show maybe at some point, but yeah, that's all. That was my anticipation.
Anybody here willing to try balut?
Yes.
Yes, Caleb says yes.
It's a duck.
Yeah, it's like almost like a fetus type duck.
Have you had it?
I have. I don't eat it.
So you wouldn't recommend it?
Well, I mean, I would recommend for you to try it at least. You need to try everything at least one time.
If you try it again with us, we'll all eat it.
What does it smell
I should
like?
grab
We
some
should do
balloons
that.
right
If we have
here.
some balut,
What's
if we have balut, we can do that.
What's the smell? How could you describe the smell of it?
It's best for you to experience it
Oh,
firsthand.
that's not a good sign.
Because it might be different for me, it might be different for you, right? So
This is durian.
Yeah. Do you like durian as well?
Durian?
durian, I do like durian. Wait,
Oh.
you're interviewing me.
So
tell
what's
us
your
about
favorite
new
color?
album. Please tell us about your new album.
Okay, let's get back to business. So I know that you started in 2017, right? Somehow, right?
Yeah.
Right around there. Can you tell us a little bit of the backstory, just something that you may not have mentioned tonight yet, as to how?
That's a good question.
I know that there was like a lot of meeting with sisters and all of that stuff, but aside from that, is there something else that we don't know about yet?
Sisters.
Well, I remember when I tried out for the little band, and I had to call Alex, and I told him that I was sick and I couldn't try out that night, but I was actually really hungover. And he told me, he's like, well, we have another drummer coming in tomorrow.
We did.
No, that was a lie. And so then I had to go in that night and try out. And then you told me later that there was no drummer the
Did I?
next day. Yeah,
We did have another guy that was, but we didn't like him.
there was no other guy. I was always
It was so that you could put in all the effort and really showcase your skills, right?
I guess he was
That
just
was your
testing me.
tactic.
That was his tactic.
That's crazy. I
I
didn't
mean-
have to try out.
Yeah, me neither.
Actually, neither did I.
All right, so for your band name Culture Wars, I know that this was already asked earlier, but were there any other names that you were kind of toying with the idea? I mean, I think you mentioned earlier that coming up with a band name is actually more difficult than writing songs. So obviously it had to be a unanimous decision, but at one point I'm pretty sure there were other names that were considered perhaps.
What were your favorites, Dave?
Oh, there's been some real interesting ones.
Can we hear it?
Stinkers.
Some
Stinkers?
Some real stinkers. I remember one time I was the last one to come into rehearsals, and like our old managers were in the room, and everybody knew about the name except for me. And so when Alex goes up to the whiteboard and he goes, okay, let me just give you like the whole backstory behind the name. And I was like, if you're having to explain it to me already, it's not going to be good. So then he just wrote it on the whiteboard, and it was Boot Hill. And my life like flashed before my eyes, having to tell like family and friends that like this was our band name. And I was like, if this is our band name, I can't be a part of this band. So that went away.
It looks like you get picked on a lot, David.
Well, I actually do the picking on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do, you do.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so they're just trying to get back
Yeah, we're
at
getting
you.
ahead of it right now. You gotta be ahead of the curve. So y'all come out and see Boot Hill at the arena tomorrow.
So let's talk about Miley. This single that you have, with how you made the song, I know that you got like close to 200K on Spotify. How does that make you feel, like, you know, coming from creating something out of nothing and then seeing so many people respond to it in such a positive manner?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've been slow releasing this album. Miley's the fourth of it, and I think we're close to 3 million on Spotify for the first 4 of the album. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, especially being here in Asia doing this tour, and I'm like, all right, this next one's Miley, and people actually know what I'm talking about. I mean, we've never been here, so it's just very surreal to reach that many people in places we've never been, people we don't know, and there they are. It's the magic of the internet. So.
You also have like a unique sound. It's very modern, but also it has like a touch of 80s.
Yeah, with Miley for sure. I think that was the goal. That's a David.
Back to David.
I guess I'm the star. But yeah, I wrote the drum beat on just a really terrible app called GarageBand on my iPad.
Not just a
And well, there were other things on it, and the rest of the guys chose not to include that. But you know, they kind of just remind me I'm just the drummer. We'll just take the drums.
You're the lead drummer, though.
That's true.
the only drummer though.
Sometimes. But yeah, I just came up with that beat and wanted to have like a 80s kind of Phil Collins type drum fill. But I don't know, like whenever I listened to it, it just always reminded me of a Tina Turner, like a Tina Turner track. So that was always in my head.
Right, it kind of sounds like it's something from the past, but
Yeah.
not exactly,
Yeah.
right? So kind of like Back to the Future sort of thing.
Right.
If there was somebody that you could collaborate with, living or dead, it could be a group or it could be an individual musician, who would you want to collaborate with if you had the opportunity?
Yeah.
If we could add dead people into the mix too.
Yes, let's make it more
Oh,
fun.
we can.
Yes, living or dead.
That's a tough.
Right.
Do a living and a dead.
Frank Sinatra collab,
That's interesting.
That's just a negative.
arranged by Quincy Jones and featuring Frank Sinatra. I don't know. Anybody have? This is a tough one.
I was never.
I was never raised to share as a child, and I'm surprised to everyone else. So when I think about it, I was like, I don't really know how to answer that like at all, to be honest.
The Wiggles, maybe?
That's a good Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Wiggles. Casey Musgraves. Willie
Maybe
Nelson.
this is opening your mind to some new ideas.
The Wiggles in a
Culture Wars, from the Wiggles to Casey Musgraves.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about your fans who are potentially also striving to one day be where you are right now. What would be your words of wisdom, advice, something that you believe people, if you were back then, like how many years ago, right? And you were thinking, am I going the right path? I mean, should I keep going? What would have been something that a stranger could have told you that made you say, no, I'm going to stick with it, and I will continue, and I will pursue this thing?
I'm gonna say a productive answer.
But you're not going to.
Well, no. My brain went to an unproductive place, but I'm gonna reel it back in. No, I would just, to anybody, to, put down TikTok, spend time writing and just getting good, because as much as like I wanted us to blow up immediately from the first song we ever wrote, which is an insane thought, and thank you, Dave, for putting up with me. We're the husband and wife. As much as you want it to happen right then and there, in reality, if you got it right then and there, it would have been the wrong timing and you would have blown your shot. So I think, have faith in developing and getting better, because you can make all the mistakes you want and no one's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So you mean don't expect that it's going to be like, it's going to happen overnight in just a snap of a finger, that you're going to have to go through the motions and the trials and errors.
Well, and trusting that failure is the only way you're going to get better, and is the entirety of the process is failure. So, I mean, like you have to be really comfortable with failure. You have to be really comfortable with people telling you that you're not good. I mean, even, no matter what we do, no matter how many people say nice things, there's always someone always has a problem.
We still get told it.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's gonna like you, and that's fine. You have to, like, be cool with that, so.
I just think also your goal,
Like the goal can't just be to make it, to be famous. Like you're missing the entire point of this whole thing. Like we all do this because we're obsessed with music. Like we love making music, we love playing it on stage. It's all just a byproduct, and so it's like if your goal is to just make it and be famous, you're gonna be discouraged and you're gonna quit. But if your goal is to just keep getting better at making songs and loving the stuff you make more and more, then you're gonna do it regardless of what the outcome is. And if you're lucky and you work hard and stuff happens and you meet the right people and you're good with relationships, like then stuff can come of it.
So passion.
Passion.
Yeah.
Passion must shine through.
Write music that excites you, that you're passionate about. Don't just follow the trend of where the music on the radio is going.
Yeah.
Because when you jump on that bandwagon, you can tell instantly who's faking it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if no one else likes it. If you like it, people will tell that it's genuine, and it'll end up sounding good.
Wonderful.
I think the best advice I've ever heard about this, and this goes for making any type of art, is if you don't have to do it, like if you're like, you don't have to do it in your soul, don't do it. Because it's a lot of work and a lot of like failure and a lot of dealing with criticism and stuff like that. So it really is like a way of life first. And if you have that, then you're on the right path for sure.
So that's one testament that you're on the right path if you're willing to go through all the hardship and all the failure. All right. Wonderful. So you are now touring basically Asia. You've been touring with Lany as well, but I have a question. What would be your ideal fantasy tour? Do you have one?
Oasis?
With Oasis? All right.
We're still available.
I'm a huge Maroon 5 fan, so I would say Maroon 5, Shot in the Dark.
All right.
Oasis and Maroon 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, maybe throw Coldplay in there.
All right. It doesn't have to be a musician too. It could be like a location.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
I think we're in the dream right now here in Manila.
Yeah.
I'll say
Awesome.
that.
Nice answer. Do we have?
We have hit a lot of dream spots. Like we've hit like playing in Tokyo,
Playing in Japan, being here in the Philippines, like being like Singapore, traveling to all these places. Like I think we've all been fans of coming over here and playing music, and the idea that music can take you around the world to play. So like really we're hitting a lot of those spots right now.
That's helping with the passion a lot too, right?
Yeah.
Being able to travel. That's part of the whole perk.
That's kind of the tough part, because we're also here for work, and it's like balancing. You get really excited every time, like we're excited to be here. You get excited everywhere we go. We get excited, and then you just wear yourself out. You're like, oh wait, we have to do a show. My bad. So you have to kind of like maintain your stamina for the whole trip and not burn out.
But you guys have to try balut, right?
yes, or maybe not. I don't know.
I'm just on a worldwide seasick tour. I'm gonna eat as much as I possibly can.
Well, I know you guys are tired, and I think we have several other media outfits that will interview you, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But my last question for you is, what was the quirkiest scenario or situation you've ever found yourself in while doing a live performance? Quirkiest, memorable, something that, okay, you'll never forget that
This
moment.
is a Dave answer, because I don't remember
I know
anything.
Josh has an answer.
Josh's guitar went out.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not just quirky, that's just bad.
Yeah, it's probably like a. That's like
I have a good quirky one though. I remember one time I was playing a show in my hometown in Oregon, and it was like a festival that was going on, and they didn't tell us that there were going to be all these interpretive dancers at the festival.
Okay.
So I'm playing with like this garage band I was in college, and all these like ballerinas and interpretive dancers, and it was a medieval festival, so like people started sword fighting in the crowd, and people are like dancing, and there are people in bird costumes, and while we were playing, we didn't know that they were like part of the festival. We thought they like came to our show
Well, at
to
least
do that.
probably you were also entertained.
Yeah, we it felt like they were the entertainers
Right.
really, and we were just the ones being entertained. But
Okay.
yeah, that was very bizarre.
That's definitely quirky.
Yeah,
I was one of the birds.
You were one of the birds.
that's actually how Dylan and I met.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the whole band. Dylan was a bird. Dave was a knight. Caleb was a.
Inspired.
No, seriously, you
Bard.
guys were in costume?
No.
Because that would have been pretty interesting, actually. Halloween is coming up,
Yeah, we'll be.
right? Are you going to be donning a costume if you're going to be performing somewhere around Halloween?
Nah, we'll be in Australia.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Halloween a thing?
It is. Of course it is.
I bought
In
Halloween
Australia.
costumes for my cats.
They have October.
You guys
releases
should.
there.
Yeah, I guess they.
They have
maybe
October
it's
there.
just-
My wife's Australian, and when we were in the U.S., she was like, I have to do an American Halloween. I was like, we not have Halloween? She's like, it's different. So I guess we'll figure it out.
It's big here too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right, well, that's about it. But I have Instagram Live over there, so do you guys mind inviting the viewers to catch your show tomorrow, your concert?
Come on out, Manila.
Yeah.
Come on out, Manila.
We will be at
Come
the
on out,
Philippine-
Manila.
We'll be at the Philippine Arena tomorrow. Hope to see you.
Plenty of space.
No, actually.
And request Miley on the radio
Yes,
at
please.
88.3, the best radio station in Manila.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. Finally, I hear the Texan, the accent.
Yeah, it comes out sometimes.
I lived in the Woodlands actually
Oh,
for,
no way.
for about eight months.
Yeah, I'm from Houston. so
Oh really?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I'm excited. I'll be there tomorrow. So definitely excited to catch you guys live. I know that you perform a great show. I've been hearing a lot about it, so I'm definitely not going to miss it. So
Cool.
it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Let's have a photo.
Yeah, of course.